and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, then hi. I started this a while back on April's channel on her live, and it took me a while to get back into it because, well, it hurt my blooming hands trying to cut all this cardboard. And I thought, well, this would be ideal for the collab that she's come up with. Now, Apryl is from Dragons and Dresses Craft Sorting. I will link her channel in the description along with the playlist. There'll be some great makes in this. It'll be awesome. So please check it out and her channel and give her some love. I am using all my icky polymer clay, my cheap nasty stuff, because, well, I'm not just going to throw it away. I can't do things like that. I can't just chuck it. So I thought it'd be ideal to put on here and then paint it afterwards. And to be fair, it hasn't done too bad. Now, the theme is Seaside Horror. Now, I have two rather huge fears. One is moths. They are demons. They are the devil's spawn. They know I don't like them. In fact, they attack me whenever they feel like it. The horrible, nasty little things. They are just yuck. And the other is clowns. Yeah. That all stemmed from the film It. The original, not this newfangled dangly thing. A proper mind mess. Where you didn't actually have to see much to know it was scary. And then, of course, you've got Poltergeist. And a little clown in that. And to top it off, being given a clown pillowcase, no, not pillowcase, pyjama case that shone in the moonlight because it was like this very pearlescent, shiny material, and it was a Pierrot clown, you know, the black and white one. Yeah, every night that thing stared at me. And I've got this thing about covering your face in makeup to hide what? What are you hiding? I don't like it. And then you've got John Wayne Gacy, who dressed as a clown, and we all know what he did. The freak. So it's like, clowns, they are not funny. They're really not funny. A friend of mine dressed up once as a clown and crept up behind me, and I punched him. I punched him really hard. He scared the poop out of me. Needless to say, he never did it again. Wonder why. So, although I'm frightened of clowns, I decided I'm going to make a clown on the front of this little circus, because my theme for some horror is a circus with, you know, those circuses that you find at the seaside with all the clowns and it's an old-fashioned type of seaside horror clown circus thing. And it's it's gonna be horror. I mean, the clown itself just screams horror. I mean, you look at it now and you think, what's horrible about that? It's a clown. That'll do. But I do add extras. And you do see a little swing, a trapeze. I take that off because you don't really need it. Plus, well, what's going to be inside is a bit gnarly. So take the notice of the colours I'm using, because like I said, I'm going to paint them. And this is going to be its teeth. Evil teeth. Yeah. They're going to bite you. They're going to munch on you. Yeah. Looking at it now, I'm like, ugh. Then I go and put extra light on it so you can see just as much as I can. Yeah. If you have a fear of clowns, I'm sorry. I feel your pain. But I'm the stupid one for making it. Yeah, them teeth end up going together. I squish them together to make them a bit more stronger. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. And I'm going to cover the whole thing in clay. These are its little teeth, and I'm like putting them in like dentures. Oh God. And then I'm going to make the bottom set of teeth as well. But I need to make this into more of a step first. And I'm just smushing it all in. This tool, well, the shape tool is just like the best ever. And I love them because they're just so easy to work with on clay. Now this clay, because it's cheap, it gets very hot very quick. You really do have to be careful with it because it just makes a mess everywhere. And I'm making this bit into a step. I mean, look at that, it's already sticking to my mat. It's just, it's awful stuff. It's not like the sculpting. I love the sculpting. I'm taking that off for a little while so I can get into the actual circus. You can see I've got seats, and I've got the pedestal bit in the middle that I can never remember what it's called. I'm sure somebody will know. I just don't. My brain's gone. And I'm putting the indentations off where the cardboard is so you can see that it's an actual step. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover the whole thing all the way around and then come back. So I've done the outside, and now I'm doing the inside. And I've used the pasta machine to make my clay as thin as possible, and so I'm not working with it too much with my hands because I don't want it to get warm again. And this doesn't need any glue on it whatsoever because it's all going to be stuck to each other. Oh, I haven't finished the outside. I thought I had. Sorry, I don't know where I am right now. I did this ages ago, and I'm only just doing voiceover. No, lastminute.com. I'll say last minute. I'm actually a week or two away, which makes a change. So I'm trying to get into the nooks and crannies of the benches, and I will be putting something on these benches. There's not going to be much inside, but what is inside is the gruesome. So that's that bit done, and I'm going to leave the bottom because that's going to be stuck onto something. So I'm just making sure that that's in the right place. I've already put all the clay on the roof. Yes, roof. That's the one. And I do end up taking out the pole from the middle as well because I don't need it. And I've covered the whole thing in clay. But now I want a tongue, because this is supposed to be the mouth of the clown. Or hell in my head. Ugh. And none of this matters about the colour. It's all going to get painted. In hindsight, I wished I'd have put the benches in last, because getting paint in there underneath was a bit of a pain in the bum. So I'm making my tongue, all twisty. And what I'm going to have to do so it doesn't bend while it's being cooked is put a ball of something like some foil or whatever just underneath the tongue so it don't go flat, because I want it to stay upright. So I'm making some teeth for the bottom as well, because you can't bite somebody if you've only got one set of teeth. It's more like a half a gummy bear really. So yeah, the tongue needed something just to keep it up. Now it's all made. Now it's time to put on the first coat. Now if you'd have been here in the actual room when I did this, you would have laughed your head off at me, because you see that board I've got up? Well, I put that up so I could use my spray gun to actually spray the white paint on it so it wasn't so thick, and so it would save me some time. Only I don't know what I've done with it, but I think I put it the wrong way round or something, and well, put it this way, I ended up with it in my hair. It kind of exploded. Yeah, so back to the drawing board with a paintbrush. This bit was the bit I was struggling with underneath the benches. I'm having to really try and bend my brush round. And I'm going to paint the roof as well, all white, because it's going to be a white and red circus tent. It will get dulled down. It won't be so white, because it's got to be dirty looking and creepy. You can't just have a pure white and red brand new tent. That would just not be right. So I paint the inside as well as the outside, but I have to wait for it to dry. At the moment the pole's still in there. So I've painted it red, and now it's time just to finish off bits and bobs inside. And I'm painting the benches dirty looking colour, and just putting some dirty looking coloured water all over, because like I said, it needs to be creepy looking. And what I'll do is I'll wipe it off as well with a baby wipe, well, floor wipe, because I don't use baby wipes, I use floor wipes, because they last longer and you can use it over and over again while you're actually working with something. So yeah, I'm making it all nice and dirty so it don't look so pristine. I don't want it looking new. I want to age it up a bit. And the tongue is a bright red, but I will put something else on that. And now for the outside, putting some dirty coloured water on and just dabbing it around and giving it a good smush. So then it all sort of ties in together. I mean, all it is just a little bit of acrylic paint, brown acrylic paint, and a lot of water, because you want the illusion of dirt. You don't want it to actually turn it all a horrible brown colour. And I don't know why I started doing the top bits, because that bit you won't see, it'll get covered up with the roof, obviously. And I'm just giving it a good smush round with the paintbrush and really rubbing it into them little dimples, and then dabbing it off again, and then trying to get in between the grooves of the actual stripes. And I realise it's not quite dark enough for me. I need it to be a little bit darker, so I'll put some more on and dab off again. This clay does actually turn it a bit plasticky. That's the feel I've got anyway. I didn't really want the plasticky feel, but like I said, it's the cheap stuff, so it'll have to do. But at least I know it doesn't fall to pieces. I'm putting him some black eyebrows on, make him look a little bit more menacing, because you know, he wasn't menacing enough as it was being a clown. I'm just turning it over so I can get into the edges, and I'm faffing about with 2 different shots trying to get it so you can see everything I've done. I don't think it's quite worked. Now I'm going in with more black in the eyes and making them more prominent, more standy outy. What the heck am I talking about? And the lines will be black down the centre of the eyes, and that tongue is just perfectly balanced. It's not bendy or anything anymore. And I'm dirtying up the teeth because, well, this clown doesn't brush his teeth. It's disgusting. And I'm just dirtying up his forehead and making him more oldie, like he's been out in all weathers. His nose is bright red because, well, he's a clown. It has to be bright red, especially if you've watched It. Oh, Tim Curry as It. Absolutely fantastic, man. You couldn't have picked a better one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the new It, but I don't find it scary. There's too much visual for me. And as a kid, we grew up with the idea, well, it was more mental torture than it was visual with films. It was much better because it made your brain think. And I don't know, these newfangled films, I sound like an old OAP, don't I? I much prefer things that make you think. And I'm just going in with a bit more because it's still not quite dirty enough for me. And I'm just dropping a little bit down each line of the dirty water just to fill them spaces up, to make it look a bit more prominent, like it's been stitched together. And I'm going a little bit darker around the backs of the seats, so it's more wood-like. Now, I have got a little wooden sign there. Now I made that for something else and I can't remember where it were. It's just been sat to one side. So I thought, oh, well, I could just use that. So I do. I make it into a sign that says Circus. And if you can see it to the left, I'm going to say left, it's where the octopus is, there's a little bunch of people there. Now, one of them's already cut in half, so I think that might give you a clue as to what's going on inside. And I use a little bit of UV resin, red UV resin, to make it look like they're bleeding. It's quite cool. So I'm still thinking it's not quite dark enough, and I make the eyes darker, but I put something else on as well. And there is going to be a time when I'm going to have to put some lights in there because I want it to light up inside as well, because otherwise you're not going to be able to see what's going on. So I'm using one of those bottle lights that you just you put in the top of your bottle and switch on. Now, obviously I'm being all professional again and it's off screen, but I'm just UVing the lights in to the top of the roof in like a spiral, so it's not just all in one clump, and it works pretty well. And then I hang the bottle top light thingy oh god on the outside. That's why the roof's not been stuck on yet, because otherwise how are you going to get to the light, switch it off or change the batteries? So yeah, I'm now going in with a bit of yellow of the pen just to make the triangles on the pedestal in the middle, and just brightening up that little bit because I want the guy in the middle to shine brightly against the yellow. So I'm placing him now in, and I'm going to place some more in, and I'm going to cut some in half that are sat up, so half of the legs will be sat up, the body will be on the floor, or vice versa, and I have one stuck to the tongue, so it looks like he's having a good old lick of a human. I'm sorry I'm so twisted, I can't help it. But clowns, to me they're murderous, horrible, yucky things. So yeah, because there's not enough red, I decide to go over each light with my red acrylic paint pen, just so that when it's switched on, the lights are red and not white, so it makes it look like the mouth of hell, really. Now I've got this wood and I'm painting it yellow, well, some of it yellow, most of it yellow, to represent the sand, because obviously it's on the beach. And I have this sand, gravel, whatever it is, and I just spread that around to give it some texture. And I've got some little seashells, and I'm going to pop them on too. And this bit is going to be the sea. Now I've just merged the colours together in a haphazard way, really, because I will be putting on some resin, and I'll be making some waves. Now I really wish I'd have put a shark fin in the sea, but then that wouldn't have really tied in with the clown. But I still may do it, because, well, why not? I can't resist it, I think. I'm going to have to do it at end. It's sat on my desk right now. I don't know what to do with it. I keep making these things and they just sit around the house, and, well, I don't know. I'm just trying to get this in the right position so I can get it to stick down. And then I'm going to prop it up on some cups, just so I can put some resin on, and then hope and pray it doesn't all come off. I was very, very careful not to run over the sides. It worked a charm. And this is also how I'm sticking down the actual tent, with the resin. And the idea of putting the sand with gravel on really does look nice, and because of the UV resin, it won't come off. And I painstakingly went round all of this just to be very, very careful not to get it to go running over. I think I did get a teeny blob at some point, but it did well. Now I have lost a fair bit of footage, but you'll see everything all in one go in the photos at the end. I make some balloons and do some twisty rope to make the sticks that holds them look a bit better, and put a little pot for them to stand in next to it. And it had to be a red balloon in there because of it. My husband does a blooming great rendition of him saying, "Do you want a balloon, little girl?" And it's like, I punch him. He knows it creeps me out, and he does it on purpose. I will be putting the balloons on, the people inside, making sure the resin is solid and holding everything together. And yeah, you'll see them at the end, all finished and lit up, and looks pretty cool. So I just want to say thank you all for being here, and please don't forget to check out the playlist in the description below, and also check out the discount codes that I've got. Why not save yourself a bit of cash? Yes, I get a bit of a kickback if somebody buys something, but it's at no extra cost to you, and it helps us both out. And I want to say thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
In a world of shadows, light does sing. Goth unicorn with a blackened wing. Happy she dances under moonlit nights, creating beauty, spurring on delight. Her hooves step softly to the softest